In this video, I'm going to give you two examples that support my belief that Spotify playlisting is actually a hack for artists. The first example I'm going to give you is one of my most recent releases, which is this song. As you can see, it was released 31 days ago. I want to go into the analytics and show you something. Let's go to the playlist section. So you can see out of the 20 playlists have been added, these are the top 5. And 3 of these top 5 I was added by Spotify. 2 of these were part of a Spotify campaign that I'm running right now. And I'm going to get back to telling you about this. Let me show you the second example before I come back to this. The second example I want to show you is this song, Messiah, which is a bit older than the other one. The other one was released in November, on November 20th. This one on August 10th, 2025. Under the playlist section, you can see that at the moment I'm still on one playlist, which I was added to back in August on the 14th. But when we extend the duration or the timeline to 12 months, you can see that in total I was added to 4 playlists. What do these 4 playlists have in common? To all of them I was added by Spotify. So let's start from here. This song, I had no budget to promote it, and I do not have the kind of social media presence that can garner this kind of streams by simply posting videos on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, at least not yet. So how is it that I got this 859 all-time streams so far? Because we are still counting. What I did was make sure that I pitched my song to Spotify editorial playlisters. And the only way you can do that is by making sure you schedule your song ahead of time. You give it maybe 3-4 weeks, and then you pitch your song to Spotify you pitch your song to Spotify editorial playlisters through your Spotify for Artists account. And I have a video talking about that whole process. I'll leave that down in the description. But what this basically does is, one, if you pitch your song at least 7 days before it's released, then you are automatically added to your followers' release radar playlists. The second thing is you stand a chance to be added to the Spotify editorial playlists, which are these two on my end. So you can see I was added to 256 bars created by Spotify, and then I was also added to New Music Friday Kenya, created by Spotify. And in total, these got me close to 600 streams, those 2 playlists alone, based off of that strategy. Right? Let's go take a look at these playlists. This is the one that I'm still on. And you can see my song is number 5 on the playlist. August 28th is when I was added. When we go back this side, you can see New Music Friday. I'm no longer on this playlist, I believe. But you can see it has over 22,200 saves, right? And I'm no longer on the playlist, obviously, because I showed you the results for the last 28 days. So how is it that I got onto these 2 playlists? The difference between these 2 at the top and these 2 at the bottom is that these 2 at the top are editorial playlists, meaning that your song gets added by people who listen to the song and judge whether it fits these playlists. And then these 2 at the bottom are called algorithmic playlists. So these are created by the Spotify algorithm, and they are basically your song is basically added based off of the engagement that it has been getting. So the traffic, and then some of the engagement, like playlist ads, like saves. And then I also believe this, don't quote me on this, but I believe the more times someone maybe listens to the song, they might add it to their algorithmic playlists, because you find each individual listener on Spotify has a radio playlist, so it gets added to that. And from this, I got 112 streams, right? So you cannot get on an algorithmic playlist without getting a bit of engagement on your song. This is why I began this video by saying I believe Spotify playlisting is a hack for artists. If you can get yourself in the system and actually get a real active playlist with real listeners, then you can kind of organically grow your streaming or your listenership, and with that also grow your fan base, because you get people adding your song to their playlist, saving your song, following your account, and that's what you basically want. Now let's go and talk about the other example, because this one, remember, I didn't have any promo plans. The only thing I did was submit my pitch to the Spotify editorial playlisters. Now let's go look at the other song. With this song, there was a budget behind it, right? And I talk about this in a different video. While we're on that note, right now I'm working on a playlist promo guide, talking about some of the red flags I've noticed, because I started doing a Spotify playlist promotion this year, and I have had such an experience over the last 6 months that I'm putting into like a course almost, just to show you guys some of my red flags that I noticed along the way, some of the mistakes I made, the platforms I used to promote, both the ones that you should be careful of and the ones that I'm sure work, and then what I would have done different if I had known this information by my first campaign. So if you're someone that is looking to start playlist promotion, or maybe you've run maybe 1 or 2 playlist promotions, this thing that I'm creating would be amazing for you. And I have an email list that I'm building for people that are interested in this. The value of it is, once you get on the playlist, or rather once you get on the email list, you'll be letting me know that you're interested in the product, and you get an early access discount. Okay, so you get to it will hit the market at a different rate. You get to get it fast and at a cheaper price, so it's a win-win for you. Anyway, this one I had a budget for it, and it was like $97, the budget that I used for this, and that got me onto these 2 playlists. Okay, it was not a guarantee because I didn't really reach out to the playlist, and I'll be covering this in a different video, but these are the 2 playlists that I got added to. We can take a look at them. This one has over 350,000 saves. To be added to a playlist like this, you're basically guaranteed at least some streams, and as you can see, it's the one that has brought in the most streams, 1,448 streams. And then the next one was this one. Right? You can see it has close to 60,000 saves, right? So these are really good playlists. And then the vibe of the song as well is a chill hip hop song. And let's go and see some of the engagement that we got on the song. We've had over 207 playlist ads. Let's look at the past 12 months. Yeah, still over 200. Let's say over 200 playlist ads and 40 saves. These are the best statistics I've had across my profile, my Spotify profile, since I began putting music out on the platform. So it tells me, number one, that the song is connecting with certain people. You can see that we have just over 2,800 listeners and over 3,800 streams. That means about 1,000 repeat listens. I don't know if it's by the same person or these are 1,000 people that have actually gone and repeated the song. It's basically showing that the song has replay value, right? So I think that's a good thing, but that's not the point. I'll talk about that in a different video. For this, I want to show you when I got onto these 2 playlists. That's what helped me get onto these. I'm sure these look familiar to you. You know, they are made by Spotify, and they are, like we said in the past example, they are called algorithmic playlists, and they only happen when your song starts to get a bit of traffic, a bit of engagement. It tells the algorithm this song has a bit of potential. People are kind of liking this song, so maybe we should show it to more people. So you get added to things like radio, the radio playlist, mixes, smart shuffles. I think each individual listener on Spotify has their own radio playlist and has their own mixes playlist and has their own smart shuffle. So you get added to these things, and it exposes you to a new fan base. Okay, if I'm speaking and some of the stuff is wrong, just let me know down in the comments. I'm also just learning this stuff, but I just wanted to show you guys how playlisting can pretty much change how your music is performing, even minus social media activity. Of course, social media is important, mostly if you do not have a budget for doing any of this. But if you can actually invest not just money but time. I showed you in the last example, I didn't have any money to invest in that, and so I just used the tool that was given to me and I got onto those playlists, and that song is at almost 1,000 streams, right? So you can see the radio playlist here has just given us over 700 streams on the song. Okay, so this is why I think Spotify playlisting is such a hack for artists. If you can get yourself on playlists and get yourself in front of genuine listeners, real listeners, it can actually build your account, can build your following, build a fan base, build people that are interested in your music, and hopefully, they can follow through. If it's good enough, if you've proved yourself a couple of times to them, they can kind of spill onto other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, whatever. This is just an assumption. I have under 1,000 followers on Instagram, so I don't really have legs to stand on when it comes to social media like that. But I think this can be a way for you to build towards that. And that really is it for the video. Remember, I'm working on the playlist promo guide. Don't just jump in. If you're serious about playlist promotion, there are mistakes that I made that I wish I knew ahead of time. You don't have to be the guy that's in my shoes. So